Situational awareness, the skill that buys you time. Most people think situational awareness means noticing danger. It doesn't. Situational awareness means noticing change early enough to make better decisions before problems grow and dangers become an immediate threat. It's the skill that buys you time, and time changes outcomes. Welcome back to After Action, Lessons Learned Under Pressure. I'm Brad Smith. This podcast is about preparedness, leadership, judgment, and mindset. Lessons learned under pressure and applied to everyday life. Before we get into today's topic, I want to briefly revisit the drill of the week from Episode 1. Episode 1, Drill Callback. During Episode 1, I asked you to pay attention to how you respond to small stress like traffic, deadlines, and unexpected problems. Moments where something didn't go according to plan. And then I asked you to notice whether you reacted automatically or responded deliberately. Because preparedness doesn't begin during emergencies. It actually begins well before emergencies arise, in everyday situations that most folks overlook. Preparedness Notebook Introduction. Before we move forward today, I want to make a recommendation that will help you get more out of this podcast over time, starting a preparedness notebook. Now, one reason I recommend doing this comes from my own experience. Earlier in my career, I served on the Long-Range Surveillance Unit Instructional Team at the U.S. Army Ranger School located at Fort Benning, Georgia. Now, while I was there, I helped to develop portions of the observation and reporting program of instruction, and then later attended the course myself. At the time, I thought I was simply learning how to teach those skills. Years later, when I was serving as a Special Forces Detachment Commander responsible for sniper reconnaissance operations, I learned those early lessons that had become part of the foundation I relied on in real-world environments. Situational awareness isn't something people suddenly turn on. It's something you build over time. And that's the reason I recommend keeping a preparedness notebook as we work through these ideas together. Because when you write down what you notice, you begin to see patterns you would otherwise miss. And those patterns help you make better decisions later. Now, I'm not talking about anything that's complicated, just a small notebook where you track the drills that we talk about each week. And this is the same idea. It'll become a living document that you can always refer back to. And today's topic connects directly to that idea. Because situational awareness is a skill that helps you recognize what's happening around you early enough to make better decisions before pressure builds. What situational awareness actually is. Situational awareness is one of the most misunderstood preparedness skills there is. Now, people often think it means looking for threats, watching the exits, being suspicious. That's not situational awareness. Situational awareness means understanding what's normal so you can recognize what isn't. It's about context. It's about patterns. It's about noticing change early. Why situational awareness matters. Situational awareness gives you something extremely valuable. Time. Time to adjust. Time to decide. Time to act deliberately instead of reacting emotionally. And the earlier you notice change, the more options you have. Late awareness limits options. Early awareness creates them. The awareness framework. One of the reasons situational awareness can feel vague to most people is because no one ever explains what it actually looks like in practice. In professional environments, such as the military and law enforcement, and within the emergency responder world, situational awareness isn't treated as an instinct. It's treated as a skill that can be practiced and improved. And the good news is, it doesn't require special training to start building it right now. It begins with learning how to notice patterns within your own environment. The 3 habits I'm about to share are simple, practical ways to start doing that immediately. Habit 1. Identify the baseline. The first habit is identifying the baseline. Every environment has a normal pattern. And that's true anywhere you may go in the world. There's a normal pace of movement, a normal noise level, a normal way people enter and leave a room or an area, a normal level of activity. Most people move through environments without ever noticing those patterns. But trained observers learn to recognize what's normal and what normal looks like very quickly. Now, once you understand what normal looks like, you can recognize change earlier. And that change might be something small. Someone moving differently than everyone else. An area suddenly becoming quieter. A shift in how people are behaving. Situational awareness starts with recognizing normal so that unusual things become easier to see. Habit 2. Notice transitions. The second habit is noticing transitions. So transitions are the moments when environments change. For example, walking from your car into a store, entering a meeting, moving from a quiet street into a crowded space, leaving one environment and entering another. Now, these are the moments when most people shift their attention inward. They check their phone. They start thinking about what's next. They stop observing what's around them. But transitions are often where important information appears. Paying attention during transitions gives you a clearer understanding of what's happening around you before situations develop. Habit 3. Lift your eyes. The third habit is simple. Lift your eyes more often. Modern life pulls our attention downward, towards phones, schedules, and distractions. Situational awareness improves the moment you begin looking outward instead of inward. Something as simple as pausing for a second when entering a new environment and noticing who's around you, where people are moving, and what the atmosphere feels like can dramatically improve awareness over time. Small adjustments like that create space for better decisions later. The leadership connection. Situational awareness is not just physical. It's emotional and social too. Leaders need awareness of team tension, fatigue, miscommunication, changing priorities, unspoken concerns. Leaders who notice early lead better. Leaders who notice late react more. The confidence myth. Situational awareness is not something people are born with. It's something people build and practice over time. Confidence comes from repetition, and repetition starts with attention. Episode 2, Drill of the Week. So here's your drill of the week. Are you ready? I'll provide the context and you provide the effort. This week, I want you to practice identifying baselines. When you enter a room, a store, a meeting, a parking lot, pause for just a moment and ask yourself, what's normal here? What stands out? What changed? Write down one observation each day in your preparedness notebook. Just one. Awareness improves faster when you record what you notice. Bluff recap, the bottom line up front. And so here we go with the bottom line up front. Situational awareness buys you time. Time improves decisions, and better decisions improve outcomes. In closing, situational awareness isn't about expecting problems, but it is about recognizing change early enough to stay effective. And like everything else we talk about here, it improves with practice. Before we close today, I just want to make a quick administrative note. I want to thank you for helping me make this podcast such a success. And because of you, the listener, the podcast is now reaching more than 50 cities across the United States. It's live in Great Britain, Portugal, and Israel. Additionally, episode 1 and 2, After Action, Lessons Learned Under Pressure, are now also available on YouTube if you prefer to listen to it on that platform. And you can find them by simply searching for After Action, Lessons Learned Under Pressure on YouTube. And please, make sure to take the time to like, comment, and share these episodes with family and friends. Thanks again for being here, and remember, stay sharp, stay ready.